Hi guys, it's Ashley here again today. Today I'll be sharing with you my ketamine infusion experience that I had a couple of days ago. So if you'd like to hear about my experience, please stick along and remember to subscribe if you want to see more content like this or any other kind of content. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, let's get going and telling you my story. So I went in last Friday, which was about a week ago, and what happened was they hooked me up to an IV and they were releasing 2 milliliters of ketamine every 2 hours. Initially it wasn't too bad. I did start to feel the effects of it, like feeling a little bit drowsy at about the, I guess, 4 milliliter one, but every time they seemed to up my dosage, my anxiety would kind of come through and I'd start to panic a little bit. So what they actually did was extend the periods in which they would administer more ketamine. So instead of 2 milliliters every 2 hours, they actually extended it to 2 milliliters every 4 hours. And unfortunately, like the first night, it wasn't too bad. I slept okay and my pain levels were still kind of there, but they were dissipating a little bit. But on the second day, they started to up my dosage and I ended up being on about, I think by 6 o'clock at night, I was on 14 milliliters and things started to really turn for me. So what happened was I started to hallucinate really badly. I started seeing, like, I think it's called the mandolin kind of things, like just all these patterns all over the wall. I couldn't feel my feet. Like I felt like I was extremely drunk and I don't drink at all, so it wasn't a very pleasant feeling for me at all. So what happened was, yeah, I started to hallucinate really badly and I started to panic severely, and that also led to a lot of nausea. Now, they did say that nausea would be a common side effect to the ketamine, but I actually have a really bad fear of vomiting and throwing up. So every time I got a bit nauseous, I would get a little bit more anxious. And at the 14 mil mark, when I started to see things and hear things, it really scared me. So I had some pretty humiliating moments with the nurse, or what I would consider to be pretty humiliating. I needed a lot of help to just, you know, go to the bathroom and everything. And I started to have really bad panic attacks. And unfortunately, they weren't able to administer any anxiety medication to me. So I started to get very nauseous and just completely freaked out. When this started to happen, they dropped it immediately down to 12 and gave me the strongest anti-nausea pill for me, which was an injection, but that still wasn't working. So they then dropped it down to 10, which seemed to kind of stabilize me a little bit. And it stabilized me, but I was still feeling nauseous. I was still dizzy. I still didn't feel like I was in control of my body, which was something that really scares me. I don't like to not be in control of my body, and sometimes I know that you can't be, but in this fact, the fact that I knew that it was being induced upon me was really scary for me. So when I was speaking to the doctor, they actually decided that they would bring me down even further. So I was supposed to spend, I think, 5 nights there, and I only spent 2 nights there. I was discharged on the 3rd day because they said that I was having too bad of like adverse effects to it and that it wasn't working properly. I have to admit though that it did reduce my pain, but I think that I much preferred to, I guess, feel the pain instead of going through these horrible kind of hallucinations and everything. Now, I know that there are other people on the floor that were getting ketamine infusions as well, and they seem to be going okay. So I think it really depends on how well your body tolerates these kind of drugs as such. You know, I know that ketamine is sometimes used illegally, and this was very heavily monitored. So yeah, so during the process I became really upset and emotional and just had such incredible guilt. And I feel like, and I'm sorry if I get emotional during this, but when I came off the ketamine, I really felt like I was, sorry about my dogs, I really felt like I was letting down my family and friends, because I was really hoping that this ketamine infusion would kind of fix everything for me and reset my pain patterns. And unfortunately it didn't do that for me. So, you know, just these last couple of days, my mental health has really plummeted, because I guess I just feel really deflated and upset that the treatment didn't work, and it's really affected my mental health. And I know that a lot of people kind of, with chronic pain, mental health kind of comes hand in hand with it. But like today, I'm really struggling. It's such a struggle, and I'm just trying to take each day as it comes, and, you know, appreciate the kind of small wins. I'm lucky that I have a really supportive group of friends and family who can help me, you know, look after my son and like look after things for me. But it just really upsets me that I can't do everything that I want to do. And I'm really hoping that I can find a solution to overcoming, you know, this really bad depression and anxiety, as well as finding a way for me to be able to manage my pain effectively without having to use heavy painkillers. It really has affected my whole life, you know. I've suffered from anxiety and depression for over 15 years now, and each time I don't feel like it gets any easier. At the moment it feels even harder, because I have a family to look after, and I have friends and family that I want to do things with, but I just feel like sometimes this is holding me back a lot. And for the past, you know, 2 years or so, it really has affected me, and it just absolutely breaks my heart that I can't do everything that I once could. And I know, like unfortunately, you know, I've tried the laparoscopies, and I've tried, you know, even removing an organ out of my body just to get rid of this pain, but it just hasn't been enough. And I'm starting to get to the point where I'm like, I'm thinking, will anything help? So I have a really good team of psychologists and a really good psychiatrist and a GP who are kind of helping me through this, as well as my family and friends. But sometimes I do feel really deflated, and there are days where I feel like I just want to stay in bed all day and not do anything. But I'm trying to, you know, be more present with my family, especially, you know, with my son and my husband. You know, they're my main priority, and there are days where I just don't know what to do. I'm trying different techniques, and, you know, this weekend I'm going to, I think it's Amelia Victoria. She's running a endometriosis kind of thing here in Canberra, where you do some yoga class, a slow yoga class, and a meet and greet, as well as a guest speaker to discuss pelvic floor physio, which is something that I'm also doing. So I am trying all these things, but, you know, sometimes when things don't work, you just feel helpless. And at the moment I'm really sitting at that helpless stage, but with the help of my family and friends and my doctors, I really hope that I can push through this. And I really feel for everyone else that's out there who also suffers from, you know, any kind of mental health problems or chronic pain. You know, you're not the only one out there, you're not alone, and it's good to know that there are communities out there that can help you through this as well. And I hope that this video can give at least, you know, even if just one person I hope it gives them some hope, but I hope it just lets them know or feel like I hope it feels like they're not alone in their journey. And, you know, hopefully things will get better. I know things will get better, but it's just getting to that point, which is hard. And yeah, so this weekend I hopefully will be feeling well enough to attend the endo event. I really want to meet some other people out there who also suffer from endometriosis or chronic pain, so, you know, we can build a community together and, you know, even just vent or be an ear or a shoulder to cry on when things get tough. So things are tough for me at the moment, but I'm really hopeful that things will get better. So that's it for today, guys. I'm sorry that this was such a, I guess, kind of Debbie Downer video, but I just thought I needed to make people aware of what endometriosis can actually do to people in terms of their physical and mental health. So hopefully I'll see you guys soon with some better news and some more kind of fun content. I have some other videos that I have to upload that are not quite as heavy, and for those out there who are suffering, I really hope that you can seek help because it's really worth it and you're worth it. So yeah, so until then, I will see you guys in my next video, and yeah, sending lots of love your way. And yeah, thanks for listening to my story. Okay, bye guys.